You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I appreciate it. Let's get into another video. Hi everybody, welcome to a new video. So in this video, I am talking about 5 things that I think you should be doing to prepare for 2026 during this great lock-in, hibernation, winter arc, whatever it is you're calling it. And I'll also be discussing some of the things that I'm doing while using these 5 strategies that I will be discussing with you. I had intentions on really going into this in greater detail in my last video. I actually did go in greater detail, but I discovered during the editing process about 80% of the way in, my mic went out. So the sound did not get captured. And I did not want to just trash the whole video. So I said, you know what, I'll just kind of do a part 2. But it actually ended up working out because it's been about 3 weeks since that video, maybe a little less. No, maybe about 2 weeks. And I've actually had a lot happen since then. So I feel like I'm actually able to give a lot more in-depth information and insight. So, like they say, there are no mistakes. So, some of these things might really hit for you. Some of them might not, take what works for you. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So right before I get into the list, I just kind of wanted to add another thing. It's already November, so a lot of you are probably already in your winter arc routine. And I just want to say it's never too late to go in and add, subtract, do what you need, because when we get to 2026, the journey doesn't end. It's not like, oh, okay, it's 2026. We're done. It's just the journey evolves. It doesn't stop. So these are just things that, you can actually implement at any time of your life, any part of the season. It's just with it being winter time, getting darker earlier, people aren't really as active because of the weather. This is kind of like the perfect time for a lot of people to implement these things. So here we go. Number 1. I am putting my social life on hold. I am currently in hibernation mode. And the reason why, I feel like 2025 for me, I was so just on the go. I was out and about. I was having fun. I was outside. And I had a great time. Do not get me wrong. It was fun. But I feel like in always being outside, always being around other people, I feel like there was so much energy that of myself that I was giving to other people and putting into things. And I won't lie, it's left me burnt out. Like, I'm tired. So I kind of really went into effect with this last month in October. And then I had a friend's birthday that I co-planned, hosted. And I said after that, because especially it was a milestone birthday. So I said, I'm going to show up for my friend. I'm going to do this. But after that, if you call or text, you might get a response. You might not. I was like, I need the next couple months to be for me. And so that's what I have been doing. I just really needed a time period to just block out everyone. And I felt like it was just so much chaoticness between like other people's stuff, my own stuff. And it was just like, I just need to tune everyone out. Like, no offense to anyone else. No one has me, upset or mad where it's like, I don't want to talk to you. It's just like, I need this time to be me, myself, and I time. Of course, obviously, if you have kids or even if you're like married or in a relationship, that can be a little more, difficult to do. But make the adjustments where you can. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not really going to speak too much on like, how to handle that if you have kids or even if you're married, because I don't. So I'm not really going to speak too much on things that I don't deal with on a regular basis. But yeah, put the social life on the back burner. It doesn't mean you have to completely ignore everybody. You can maybe do something where it's like, hey, I'll come to Friendsgiving, but I probably won't go to the Christmas party, or I'll go to the Christmas party, but I will kind of sit New Year's Eve out. Make the changes where you can. If you're kind of like, you know what, I need a break, I'm done, don't call me for 3 months, do that. If you're like, you know what, I'll just make it where, I only go to like one social event a month, do that as well. Do what works for you. I have been doing that, and I feel mentally it's brought a lot of peace to me. It's helped me kind of quiet out all other distractions and focus on the things I need to focus on, because I've realized like I have a lot within me that I need to work on. My cup is empty. I've had to really admit that to myself over the last month. My cup is empty, and I can't pour into anyone else if my cup isn't full. So that's why I'm going the route that I'm going with, tuning a lot of unnecessary or just unneeded things out right now. And don't feel sorry, feel sad about having to do that, because you come first. For all of us, we come first in our lives. We can't put other people as a priority if we are not taking care of ourselves. Number 2, with me taking some me time and going into hibernation mode, I have realized that I need help with things. Therefore, I am going into therapy. Yes, I am starting to see a therapist. I realize that a lot of the reason why my cup is so empty and I have been pouring into so many other things and people, and not really taking care of myself, is because I've gotten better, but I still struggle with a lot of people pleasing tendencies. I do not speak up a lot when someone is crossing my boundaries, when I'm upset about stuff. I will just kind of be quiet to keep the peace. And it really, really just hit me like over the last couple months that, like, you know what? This is not getting me anywhere. Keeping the peace for other people is making my insides, it's causing a lot of turmoil. So I need to get better at speaking up for myself, advocating for myself. If someone is putting me in a position that I don't like, I need to be able to immediately say, hey, no, we're not going to do that. I'm not going to, be involved in this way or that way. If I feel like someone is, BSing me, I want to be able to say, hey, that doesn't sound right. Like, what do you mean? Like, I just want to get better at, I hate to say it, but I want to get better at just calling people out when I feel like they are trying to either play a game with me, use me as a pawn in, stuff, or just when things do not suit me. I want to be able to just verbally articulate why I'm stepping away, and yeah, calling back my power. And I realized I need help with that. So yeah, I am going to be starting therapy, really talking about what it is that I did that allowed my cup to get empty in the first place. If you guys see, I did a video like several years ago when I first started therapy. I was in therapy at that time for like 2 years. This time around, I don't think it's going to be nearly as long. Or maybe if it is longer, it'll just kind of evolve and look differently. I know usually when you start therapy, it's a once a week session. So maybe after a while, it'll kind of be, once every other week. I know there are some people that go to therapy once every 3 weeks. Obviously, I don't know where it's going to go. But yeah, I definitely feel like in this season, and at least for the next 6 months, I'm going to be, really leaning into therapy and processing some things that I need to do better in my life. That will help me be a better person to myself, help me be a better friend, a better family member, a better girlfriend and eventually wife. So, yeah. So I feel like that is what is needed for me. Number 3, evaluating career or educational goals and not be scared of the possibility of pivoting. Yes, Right now, and this is what I started talking about on my last video right before the sound went out. So if you watched the last video, this is kind of right where I left off, and this is where a lot of new information is going to really come in. I am in the process of really evaluating my career goals, my educational goals. Is like, do I want to go back to school? What do I want to go for? And things like that. So one of the things that I have realized, actually, one of the things that I have been really, it's been heavy on my heart is that, oh my God, I'm in my late 30s and I'm doing this change. Like, I feel like I should have already had the answers. I should already be on the track. Like, I felt shame for having to pivot or to just finally say, I'm not happy with this. And I've had people speak wonderful, words of affirmation into me, let me know like, hey, there's people in their 50s and 60s that are pivoting. And I say that to say, never be afraid to explore the possibility of starting over, and never just be afraid to actually do it. So with that being said, I had to really realize like, I'm just not happy in my line of work that I do. Yes, it's remote. Yes, it pays well. But I'm like, even if I went and got another position at another company within a year, I will be unhappy. So, what is it that you really want to do? I really had to sit with myself and ask myself, aside from money, money is very important, as I mentioned in a previous video, but it's in the top three, but it's not the most important thing. So I've really had to ask those questions. And as I've also mentioned in a previous video, I have started doing events. I have an events company. I hosted 2 events this year and it went really well. But I've realized I do not want to be a full-time business owner. Entrepreneurship is, it is a lot. And I think for me, just where I'm at, having to stress about every month, like, oh my God, am I going to make enough to keep myself sustainable? Am I going to be able to do this and that? And then if I grow a team, am I going to, am I going to be able to have done enough to be able to financially sustain my team? And I was like, I do not want that. I still want to do events, but I very much want to do it on a part-time basis. God forbid if I get sick or something and it's like, oh, you know what? I kind of have to put things off and not do an event for 2 more months. I want to have that freedom to be like, okay, I can put off the event for 2 months and no biggie, no harm, no foul. And I kind of felt for a minute like, oh man, but you love doing events. Like, you should want to do this full time and you should want to be an entrepreneur. It's like, no, I don't. And then the more I have done events, I've realized, like, even physically, it is tiresome. Like, I planned my friend's birthday this past weekend, and just like the 2 to 3 days of like running around and getting stuff and everything, it is tiresome. So I'm like, even though I have the energy for it now, in 15 years, when I'm in my 50s, am I going to want to do this? Probably not on a full-time basis. So that just kind of made me realize, like, yes, I love hosting events. I love doing events, but it's not something I want to eat, breathe, and sleep. It's just not. I've kind of realized, like, you know what? I think 9 to 5 is for me. And I just want to say, whether 9 to 5 is for you or entrepreneur life is for you, there is no wrong answer when it comes to your life. So, whatever that looks like, you can craft it. If you just say, hey, I want to do this part time, do this full time, or whatever that looks like, you can craft your life to look the way you want it to. I know, and I'm just now realizing this, there are so many working professionals who have businesses on the side and they love it like that. They love it. So there's no wrong answer to what you decide. So when it comes to my 9 to 5, it's like, okay, well, what do you want to do full time? What does that look like? I am pretty decided on what avenue I want to go, but I'm going to wait a few months before I share that because I am heavy in do not make announcements until things are official. So I will be announcing like what this career pivot is in the next like 2 to 3 months. There's just a few other things that I'm working on. Doing this pivot will require me to have to go back to school. So I'm just, when I come to you guys, I want to be able to say, ta-da, here's everything I'm doing. So yes, so I'm working on that. And that's another reason why I'm kind of in isolation, because I'm kind of like, I don't really want to hear everyone's opinion on it. I don't want to feel propelled to have to talk about it to everyone. I kind of just want to be in my own little bubble, kind of work on this, do what I have to do. And then ta-da, when it comes to fruition or it's a reality and I have a full plan in front of me. So I say that to say, use this time to evaluate where you are in your professional life. Is there something else that you want to do? Is there, do you want to expand your education? Do you want to go back to school? Do you want to get a certification? What is it that you want to do? Use this time to evaluate that. Number 4. Okay, you guys, I like this one. Invest in yourself. Make a plan to invest in yourself physically, mentally, emotionally. Physically, I have updated my gym routines because right now the focus is building a little more muscle. I feel like in terms of, body fat, I kind of am where I am. I do want to lose a few more inches around my waist, get my inner thighs a little more toned, little small stuff here and there. So that has required me to kind of look at my gym workouts, my routine, and say, okay, let's do a little more of this, do a little less of that. Really honing in on my eating habits. I found fast food options that are healthier, but I've realized I've still been spending way too much on fast food. I need to be in the house cooking more, especially if I want to maintain or improve my current weight loss goals. So I've had to really, sit down and be like, okay, this works, this doesn't work, do more of this, yada, yada, yada. So you should be taking that time to really invest in yourself physically. Do not let the fact that it gets dark now at 5 o'clock make you say, oh, well, you know what? No, maybe not the gym. No, go. Change it to the morning time if you need to. Even if, you have to keep it at nighttime, going to the gym at 7 o'clock at night is not the worst thing. Use this time to still be intentional about your fitness goals. You don't have to completely give up everything, but find balance. Because remember, the things you're doing for you today is not just for the day, it's for the version of you next week, next month, next year, and so on. Also, I did mention that I'm starting therapy. That is another way that I am investing in myself. Your body is only as good as your mind is. So, invest in yourself. And also, even let me go back to like physically. What I did, break down things that you want to work on. If it's too much to do it all at once, break it down into sections. I would say 2024, my biggest focus was weight loss. And because I ended up losing 70 pounds, I had to buy a lot of new clothes. My 2025 focus was mainly weight loss, wardrobe updating. Now, going into 2026, for me, I'm going to be focusing on, as far as physical, is I need to get my pearly whites back up to par. When I was in my 20s, my teeth were perfect. I ended up not being as on my dental routine as I should have been. And now there's just so much other work that has to be done. But I'm going to do it. So the focus there is like my dental work. And then I want to start wearing my natural hair a lot more. So I'm kind of going to do not a big chop, but like kind of a medium chop and get to the point to where I'm wearing my real hair at least 50 to 60% of the year. So that's going to take, maintenance, some time, and some intentional investing. Another thing that I'm focusing on that I think everyone should be focusing on money management. I sat down 3 weeks ago. I looked at my budget. I looked at all my credit cards, my statements. I realized I was spending so much extra money, like so much extra money just on my going out habits, eating in. ordering out, sorry, not eating in. And I was just like, oh wow. Like even if I took extra money and still went out maybe, once a week, still, ordered in once a week, still, oh man, I went shopping because I needed some new clothes, spent a few extra hundred there. I totaled that up. Even if I did all that, I should have still had so much more money on a monthly basis in my account than I did. So that was my wake up call that, like, okay, how can I start prioritizing paying off my credit cards, saving more? So I have a plan. So, and it's going to officially go in effect December 1st of like, okay, this is how I'm budgeting, this is how I'm spending money, so that by June, all my credit cards are 90% paid off. I have X amount saved up in my account. And, overall, my financial health is a lot better. So, yeah, also use this time, look at your budget, look at what you're spending. You're probably thinking, oh my God, I'm not making enough. And the truth is, like, no, you're just spending a whole lot. I thought I was like, oh my God, I'm not making enough. Why am I like check to check? And it's like, oh no, honey, you're reckless. It's not the money, it's you. So yeah, use this time to invest in yourself. Get your body right, get your money right. Look into educational endeavors. Do it slowly, do it fast. Pick a pace that works for you and invest in yourself. You will never regret taking 6 months or even a year and just saying, hey, the main focus is me, making some sacrifices. You will be so much better. And I just want to say this because right now I am single. I have attempted to date. That was also a big reason. Like this year, I was actually going out a little more because I was actually open up to the idea of like, you know what, meet somebody, date, things like that. Nope, it did not happen for me at all. I'd start conversations with a few people and it's like, no, it went nowhere. So I kind of come to the realization like, you know what? God isn't saying not never, but he's definitely saying right now. Between the things that I want to work on, the things that I'm trying to improve on, this is not the time for you to be spending your time trying to get to know someone and trying to figure out how you can fit them into your life and vice versa. You need to focus on you. You're trying to do a new career, you're trying to manage other things, you're trying to really get yourself right, mentally and emotionally. This is not the time for a relationship. I really personally felt like God came and gave me that message. Like, you don't have to be perfect to receive a relationship, but there are some things that I want you to really pour into yourself with. And once you have done that, maybe I'll send you a man. We'll see. We'll see. God always gets the final say with things. So yeah. Number 5, last but not least, move in silence. And when you do speak, make sure it's needed. This is one of the biggest things that I've struggled with. I have mentioned this in, I think, my first video. Anytime I had an idea, anytime I was like, you know what, maybe not, I had to speak with someone. And based on what their response was, kind of judged how I proceeded. I've kind of gotten to a place where, one, I need to trust more of my thought process and what I say. I don't need to speak to anyone else for validation on something that I'm considering. Now, this isn't to say I'm never going to ask anyone's opinions. I'm never going to, reach out to other people, because that's not true. But I'm letting my opinion be my most important when needed, if that makes sense, which I'll circle back so you'll understand. And another thing that I've always done was I'd speak on something just in the beginning phases. And then 6 months later, oh, it didn't work out. Oh, And on one hand, what is for you is for you. If it's going to work out, it's going to work out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But just me between my early 20s and now, I am so tired of having to do oh yeah, it didn't work out. Yeah, no, I decided I'm not going to do it. I am really in the space where it's like when I'm delivering news, I want to deliver, yes, I'm doing this. I'm starting XYZ. Then the plan is solidified. When I start the process of buying a house, I don't want to start telling people, yeah, starting the process, getting pre-approved, looking at houses. I want to shh. And then once I've closed, then the announcements, then the conversations happen. That's just where I'm at in my life. I want to deliver finished news and not work in progress news. Now, I said that there are times when you should speak because there are people around you, there are people that you might come in contact with who can help you, who can be a resource. With this career pivot, I ran into a friend that I went to college with over the summer actually. And so we since then we had been chatting on social media. And so when I decided this, I was able to reach out to her and say, "Hey, I know that you've actually went to school for this and you're in this career. Tell me about it." And she gave me great advice. And her advice actually helped me. It's not necessary to always make a social media announcement. It's not always necessary to, at every single group outing, to announce everything. Discern when it's right to share and discern when it's like, you know what, let me hold on to this for a little bit longer. And this is not to say that your friends are, they're wishing the evil eye on you or anything like that. There are people who you may not know who probably are like, yeah, I'm sending bad energy that way. But I just think it's better to just a little bit longer. I won't lie, there are a few people that I did share my career pivot ideas with, and I didn't really get anything that was like, oh no, you shouldn't do that or anything like that. But I'm not perfect. So it's like, even with me sharing with some of the people that I did, I'm kind of like, I kind of wish I would have just shared. I would have waited until like I can say, ta-da, I'm moving forward. I plan on enrolling in this semester, blah, blah, blah. But we're here and I'm not perfect. So in some ways I've done a lot of improvements. In some ways it's like, I'm still a work in progress. We did it, you guys. We made it to the end. I really hope that these tips can help you get where you're going. They've definitely been instrumental for me, and I am just so excited to share where I'm at with everything. So, I also wanted to let you guys know, as far as content, I will be sharing my video on how I have achieved my 76-pound weight loss over the last 17 months. So yeah, it does not feel like it has been that long, but it really has. So it is definitely time for me to share that journey of what I did, how I did it, and all that stuff. Because of course these days when anyone when they have weight loss success, it's the big, what did you do? How did you do it? So I definitely want to share that before the end of the year. So be looking out for that. That will definitely be getting filmed soon. Thank you guys so much for being so patient with me. My goals has been 2 videos a week, and I hate that I have not been on it. But starting next week, you'll definitely see an uptick in the content that I will be posting. So yes, like, follow, share. Please leave any comments, because while I think I'm here educating, I'm also not opposed to learning. So you might have something for me, and we can definitely just keep the conversation going in the comments. So until next time, have a good one. Love you much, and see you at the next video.